And here it is. Things going up. So it's time ship ride. With at least one prince and one surviving summoner. And master of the monks of Fabul, meaning the abbot. Although he's married, so might not be that much of a good monk. Well, of course there will be Sid, and he is an airship engineer or related to airships. And if I remember right, it was Final Fantasy II, the original 2, which introduced Sid as character. But something's going on, of course, because, well, a giant tentacle from the sea coming is never good. But actually, a giant sea serpent rising from the ocean sea is never a good idea, or never a good omen, especially when you are having a ship and it's coming towards you, or you are going right at it. Oh, and 2 fell into the sea. And it's making a big whirlpool while we're at it. And Cecil, as he's the main character, has wound up on the sandy beach. The nice texture of ash and dust, and well, not much info of where he is, but luckily there's a city right next. So, time to get going. Mysidia. Yeah, it's the place where the game, the attack right at the beginning of the game had happened, and looks like people here know it. Yeah, I guess they are rightly spooked of a talking, walking frog. Actually, Cecil has quite good idea. But there's the elder. Alright. So, And Cecil is now being accompanied by the junior mages, mage twins. And the quest is quite simple. Head towards the Mount Ordeals, which is very ominous sounding location. Especially with all that kind of things that nobody has returned from there. And all that kind of unpleasantness going around in here. But it's time to get some, also do some get some equipment. Oh yeah, and the game does gives a little bit of a spoiler, as in you can already go and buy equipment for the paladin, meaning that the plot, meaning it spoils the plot of that Cecil will succeed in becoming paladin. Although I don't know, did the game's manual already spoil that plot event? Don't remember that, but the interface of the game did already. Okay, I was just getting some equipment and I guess I have to use the healing item. And there's plenty of... Yep. They aren't particularly friendly around here. Oh, but it's time to save, get some preparation and head towards Mount Ordeals, which I can already see in the map that it's gonna take a quite long walk. But time to do some preparation first, and I'll use magic of editing to end it. Well, after short preparation, which involved some level grinding, not much, but thanks to the 4-time experience multiplier. It's interesting to notice that you can get items which cast spells. They don't usually cast them very powerfully, but having a free spell cast every turn can be quite useful, especially with the healing magics. Just because you can get it for free makes it basically worth it. Cecil is of course the offensive powerhouse because, well, Palom and Porom are both children. They are not physically really able as fully grown and trained man who has also been trained to fight using all kinds of nasty things. So fighting against these is very much just blasting out dark wave with Cecil and spamming the healing ability with Porom. But here it is, it looks very ominous indeed, even in the world map. Anything called Mount Ordeals is most likely not particularly, you could say, friendly location. But as long as the basically healing outstrips the damage brought in, it brings a net gain, especially these very weak, scrawny enemies. Although Mountain itself does not have weak and scrawny enemies, and of course, in actual physical confrontation, Pahom and Polom are practically completely useless. And their characterizations is also quite different, with Palom being the black mage and very arrogant and bossy, while Pahom is, well, she is the more mature one. And they are chocobo birds. And there's also this little unknown patch of land that allows you to summon Fat Chocobo, which was important in the original Final Fantasy 4 because you did not have the more practically unlimited inventory of the newer Final Fantasy games. You had limited inventory space, but Fat Chocobo could stash items, so you could hoard all your items to him if you felt like it. But Mount Ordeals doesn't look pleasant, and it isn't pleasant because it's meant to be an ordeal. And place code like that, even if it would be something like this kind of with built bridges and all that, yeah, and some smacking and plot exposition. For unknown reasons, we have damsel is in distress, bad guy and his henchmen, and more of them. And Golbez is very aware of things and sends the henchmen to dispose of us. And of course, Golbez seems to follow the bad guy basic plot. You get rid of all your and convenient henchmen. One, if they do even a slight little mistake happens, you're just gonna go and get killed, or at least threaten them with death. I wonder how in hell could they even keep henchmen if every first blunder, no matter what kind of blunder it is, leads to yeah, that's it, you're dead. Yeah, and of course Mount Ordeal seems to have undead enemies as well. And that one seems to know how to pass out some magics as well. But it doesn't seem to be that impressive because it goes down. And I think I'm gonna once again follow the policy of cutting the fights, even if they do happen quite unpleasantly. Oh yeah, getting all the potions. Fights on this mountain tend to be long if you want to spare your avoid wasting your resources. And I should do say that this quite simplistic background method is nice. Oh, that was it. And I don't remember, did the previous Final Fantasies have this kind of, or did they all exhibit? Sage Stella. He's here as well. Yep. Alum needs constant amount of wax. Oh yeah, and he also looks armored and it's scary. And he's evil. And now I have Sage Stella in my team as well, meaning it's filled with a one punch machine, striking machine, and a magical powerhouse. At least in the game story, in gameplay, he is not that much of a powerhouse, at least in this phase of the game. And I do like this background they added. It makes it kind of gives a sense of being high, and the travel upwards still continues. Double either. The films make you behave like a really strong in some early Irish novel. Those little very quick interruptions should tell how bad the encounter rate is. Encounter rate is extremely high, or bad, whatever attribute word you wanna say, but it looks like Team Cecil has reached the top, with some spooky sounds being heard. So it's time to make use of the 10th item again. Because there has been plot event saying that something is about to intercept me. Now it is time to, well, more of that. No. And when you look about it, the fact that Scarmiglione is basically an elemental fiend or demon harkens back to Final Fantasy 1 itself as the crystals or orbs in original translation were extremely important for the game's plot, and they have done recurring appearances earlier as well. So, but Scarmiglione had a bunch of undead monstrosities with him, but after that he doesn't seem to be much of a threat. Oh, well, he does do a counterattack whenever he's being smacked, but after that he doesn't seem to be much of a So let's just give him another big dose of roast with fire. And he was killed. But that might appear to be too easy, so it is definitely recommended to follow the policy of saving and or better say resting, saving, and shifting the team order around, because there's a little bit of a catch. Yeah, he's gonna ambush you again. Not one, two boss fights in a row. So if you wouldn't know that, it would be quite unpleasant appearance. Yeah, Scarmiglione in his undead form. And a new, of course, he's a completely new monster with completely different styling. So let's just see what kind of paint does. But he doesn't seem to be burning. Cure spell doesn't seem to do much damage to him. Yeah, that's an unpleasant sound, but it doesn't seem to be doing much except poisoning. So let's just blast out the Cura spell and use Palom's Fira to burn him out. And because I had massively massively level grinded, he went down much less effort than he basically game should go down. How could oh yeah, like all the bad guys, he goes to the big rant of how can I lose? Arg. So but once again, it is time to do the saving policy because there's even one more little ordeal left. So, Cecil must face himself in battle. So, the basic tactic is just to stay and not attack. If I remember right, there was some little gimmick in this. Yeah, it was just stand there and take it. Although in story-wise sense, this basically was not, you could say, any kind of purging of evil from yourself, but more like encountering shadow, becoming something, or let's say, learning something of you that you did not know you had. But yes, a complete class change, not just class upgrade, but complete class change. And Sage Stella has learned the ultimate offensive magic, Meteor. Yeah, Stella's got quite little amount of time and effort to the pondering, self-pondering and reflection. He's very certain of himself, so how to go But it's time to actually end this episode, which had lots of plot going on and even a boss fight. So see you next time. See